You may never eat fish again after watching this. Don't ignore. 99% of people don't know. Follow me, because by the end of this video, you'll wonder how you spent all this time eating fish without realizing the hidden risks and shocking truths behind it. Fish has long been considered a staple of a healthy diet, rich in omega-3 fatty acids and essential nutrients. But beneath the surface lies a story of contamination, environmental harm, and health risks that most people aren't aware of. Today, we're diving deep into why you might think twice before adding fish to your plate. Let's uncover the facts that 99% of people don't know. First, let's talk about mercury contamination. Many fish, particularly larger species like tuna, swordfish, and mackerel, contain high levels of mercury. This toxic metal accumulates in fish through the food chain and can lead to serious health problems, including neurological damage, developmental delays in children, and memory loss in adults. The FDA and EPA have issued warnings about limiting consumption of high mercury fish, especially for pregnant women and young children. Instead, opt for smaller fish like sardines or anchovies, which contain lower levels of mercury. Next, there's the issue of microplastics. Our oceans are filled with tiny plastic particles that fish ingest throughout their lives. When you eat fish, you're also consuming these microplastics, along with the harmful chemicals they carry. A study published in Nature found that microplastics can disrupt hormonal functions and lead to long-term health issues. While avoiding fish entirely might not be feasible for everyone, being aware of this contamination can help you make informed choices about the seafood you consume. Farmed fish, often seen as a sustainable alternative to wild-caught fish, comes with its own set of problems. Many fish farms are overcrowded and plagued with diseases, leading to the widespread use of antibiotics and chemicals to keep fish alive. These substances can remain in the fish you eat and contribute to antibiotic resistance, a growing global health crisis. Additionally, farmed fish like salmon often have lower omega-3 levels compared to their wild counterparts, making them less nutritionally beneficial than you might think. Environmental concerns are another major issue. Overfishing has decimated fish populations worldwide, disrupting marine ecosystems and threatening species with extinction. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, over 30% of fish stocks are overexploited, with an additional 60% fully exploited. Practices like trawling destroy ocean habitats, including coral reefs and seafloors, leaving lasting damage that takes decades to recover. Choosing sustainably sourced fish can help mitigate these impacts, but it's not a perfect solution. Then there's the problem of parasites. Raw or undercooked fish, such as in sushi or ceviche, can carry parasites like anisakis, which can cause severe stomach pain, vomiting, and allergic reactions. Freezing fish at specific temperatures can kill parasites, but not all restaurants or suppliers follow these guidelines strictly. To reduce your risk, stick to cooked fish or ensure that raw fish is sourced from reputable suppliers who adhere to strict safety protocols. Another shocking fact is the use of chemical additives in seafood. Shrimp, for example, is often treated with sodium triple-I-phosphate to retain moisture and improve texture, while some fish are treated with carbon monoxide to enhance their color and make them appear fresher. These chemicals may have long-term health effects, including kidney damage and increased cancer risks. Always read labels carefully and choose seafood from trusted sources to avoid unnecessary exposure to harmful additives. Did you know that fish can also carry harmful bacteria like Salmonella and Listeria? Improper handling and storage can lead to contamination, putting you at risk for foodborne illnesses. The CDC reports that seafood accounts for a significant portion of food poisoning cases in the U.S. alone. Always ensure that fish is properly stored, cooked, and handled to minimize these risks. On top of all this, fish may not be as environmentally friendly as it seems. The carbon footprint of the fishing industry is substantial, with fuel consumption, processing, and transportation contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Fish farming, while less fuel-intensive, creates its own problems, including water pollution and the destruction of local ecosystems. Reducing fish consumption or choosing plant-based alternatives can help reduce your environmental impact. So, what are the alternatives if you're concerned about the risks of eating fish? Plant-based omega-3 sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts offer similar health benefits without the associated risks. You can also find algae-based omega-3 supplements, which are free from mercury, microplastics. Here are several reasons why you might reconsider eating fish after learning about the potential risks. 1. Mercury contamination. Many fish, especially larger species like tuna and swordfish, accumulate high levels of mercury, which can harm the nervous system and be particularly dangerous for pregnant women and children. 2. Overfishing. Overfishing depletes fish populations, disrupts marine ecosystems, and leads to the collapse of entire species, contributing to environmental degradation. 3. Microplastics. Fish in polluted waters often ingest microplastics, which can accumulate in their tissues and enter the human food chain, potentially leading to health issues like hormonal disruption. 4. Unsustainable fishing practices. Industrial fishing methods, such as bottom trawling, can cause immense damage to ocean floors and disrupt marine biodiversity. 5. Antibiotics and chemicals. Farmed fish often contain traces of antibiotics, pesticides, and other harmful chemicals used to prevent disease in overcrowded conditions. These can end up in your body when consumed. 6. Toxins in fish. Certain fish species contain natural toxins like ciguatera and histamine, which can cause food poisoning or neurological damage when consumed. 7. Endangered species. Many fish, including some species of tuna and salmon, are at risk of extinction due to overfishing, making their consumption an ethical issue. 8. Heavy metals. Fish, especially those from polluted waters, can accumulate heavy metals like lead and cadmium, which are harmful to human health, affecting the kidneys and liver. 9. Dioxins. Fish raised in contaminated waters can absorb dioxins, a group of harmful chemical compounds that can lead to cancer and immune system disorders. 10. Environmental pollution. Many fish are caught in waters polluted with industrial waste, oil spills, and sewage, which affect their quality and safety for human consumption. 11. Fish farming issues. Fish farms are often breeding grounds for disease and parasites, and the dense living conditions can cause stress and lower the nutritional value of the fish. 12. Heart disease risk. While fish is often praised for omega-3 fatty acids, eating fish high in cholesterol or certain oils can still increase the risk of heart disease. 13. Allergic reactions. Fish is a common allergen, and some individuals can experience severe allergic reactions, ranging from skin irritation to life-threatening anaphylaxis. 14. Human health risks from parasites. Raw or undercooked fish, especially sushi, can harbor parasites like tapeworms and roundworms, which can lead to severe digestive and health issues. 15. Increased risk of cancer. Some types of fish, especially when smoked, grilled, or fried, can release carcinogenic compounds that increase cancer risk over time. 16. Declining fish populations. As fish populations dwindle due to overexploitation, the survival of marine ecosystems and the species that depend on them is jeopardized. 17. Ethical concerns. Many people avoid eating fish due to concerns over the suffering caused by fishing methods, particularly in industrial fishing operations that use nets and long lines. 18. Nutrient imbalance. Depending on fish as a primary source of protein may not provide a balanced intake of other necessary nutrients, such as fiber, vitamins, and minerals, which are found in plant-based foods. 19. Inconsistent regulations. Many regions have weak regulations on fish farming, leading to poor working conditions for workers and inadequate health standards for fish. 20. Cultural and religious beliefs. Some people avoid eating fish for spiritual, cultural, or religious reasons, believing that consuming fish violates ethical or moral guidelines. With all these concerns in mind, many people are choosing plant-based or sustainably sourced alternatives to fish to protect their health and the environment.